How do? Alternate. Welcome back. If you haven't seen this ugly face for a while, that's because I've not made a video for a while. But I think it's about time I started again, because I am now pushing forward full strength with Who Needs Instructions. If you don't know what that is, I'll introduce to it during this video. So Who Needs Instructions? What is it all about? One simple line: I simply want to get men talking more. Nothing more complicated than that, really. Generally speaking, and I am being very general here, men tend to have a little bit of emotional constipation when it comes to talking about their thoughts and their feelings. It's difficult stuff for some of us to negotiate. And that's what I want to try and help us get over. We need to be able to have a bit more honest conversations about how we think and how we feel. A bit like you ladies do, basically. So yeah, Who Needs Instructions is basically an organisation that wants to get men together to talk and to communicate a little bit better. How am I going to do that, Matt, is the question that's buzzing around your brain right now. Well, I'm going to run a bunch of events. This week, in particular, is Men's Health Week. So it's a great excuse to have a whole bunch of events running all the way across this week. Today is Monday. I'm not sure when this video comes out, but I am off to Land Rover Experience Westcountry, where we're taking half a dozen guys around in Land Rovers and just going to have a little bit of fun. And hopefully create a few conversations at the same time. Also coming up this week, and there is a reason why this lot is here, on Wednesday we're going to be talking to a guy called Josh Rolls. Now Josh is one of my closest friends, one of the most inspirational and amazing young men that I know, and he used to work for McLaren Formula One. Now Josh used to be an F1 mechanic. He was in the pit lane, he had the actual gun that put the wheel bolts on and off. It was moulded to his hands. He's told me this stuff. And if you're interested in finding out about that and all the other stuff behind the scenes, asking some really tricky questions, then come along on Wednesday night, which now means I've got to get this video out before Wednesday, otherwise it'll be pointless. Later on in the week, we're going to be talking about how testosterone affects the body, how insulin affects the body, because after all, it is Men's Health Week and that is the focus. But we're also going to be having a campfire on Friday night, just a bunch of guys sitting around, cooking a bunch of food, and yes, roasting marshmallows, maybe some s'mores too. If you don't know what they are, Google them, they're delicious. And we're just going to have a bunch of conversations on a male-only dominated place around a fire pit. You know, we all love a little bit of fire, don't we? Now, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can log on and check out some of these events, and hopefully, please, book on as well. I'm very fortunate to have some really close female friends, so I know how you girls talk. Now, I'm not sure I'm ever going to get men to talk that openly and honestly. You lot are truly shocking. But if I can get them to open up a little bit, it will improve things. So ladies, the call out to you is, if you've got a man in your life, if it's a sibling, an uncle, a brother, a dad, push him gently towards Who Needs Instructions. Don't tell him he's got to do it, because that's when we shut down. That's when we don't listen. But just gently introduce him to this concept, point him in my direction, and hopefully he'll get on board. The serious stuff. There is an epidemic of loneliness amongst men. There's a brilliant book out called Billy No Mates. It's written by a guy called Max, I think it's Max Dickens. And he got engaged to his girlfriend, and then he suddenly went, who's going to be my best man? Now, who of you out there has a best friend? At 50 years old, I'm very lucky to say I still have a best friend from my teenage years. We hang out maybe twice a year, but we make that effort. It's difficult to maintain those friendships. Who Needs Instructions is there to support that as well. Right, I got to stop finding different places to film, get in my car, get over to Land Rover Westcountry, and let's do some filming there as well. I am genuinely excited about driving one of those Range Rovers around those lanes. Have you seen them? Stay tuned. there we go. That was the first event. You've probably seen a few images from it because I've got to put the video together, but I've just finished up here. Land Rover Experience Westcountry completely looked after us. All the fellas just had a great time. The vehicles were amazing, and the tracks they got up around the woods here, just incredible. So those are the kind of events we do at Hoodie's Instructions. If you fancy a bit of that, give us a follow.